Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we finished off the Unbidden over here in their main region. So all they have left is a few stations here and there. Nothing too major there. That's not bad at all. Now, there is something that I want to do going forward here for a little bit. And specifically, what that is I want to prioritize grabbing all of these L-Gate regions. So let's go ahead and send a construction ship out to Zilbox Maw. Now, we're going to have to survey that, and that's okay. We're going to grab our science ship in Hotram, and that will head over and survey Zilbox Maw. It will not take it very long to get there. Excellent. Now we are working our way through a couple of other locations, and we're not going to have the influence to run 3 simultaneous construction ships. I can tell you that right now. However, we also need to work on our food and consumer goods. There's no doubt about that. Now, we could theoretically, even though it's not super efficient, we could theoretically get away with running the recycling campaign and still be positive in our energy credits. So let's go ahead and do that, and that does cut off our consumer goods deficit by about 25%. It's not great. Like I said, this is not super efficient, but we'll just let that go for now. So this refinery world here requires a job. It has a lot of open districts. A lot of open districts. We are full on building slots at the moment. And if we get another building slot here, that will create clerk jobs. So that will use up our available jobs here for the moment. Now, we could also put in an agriculture district in order to produce food. Oh, this is a Gaia world. Okay, with this being a Gaia world, we should not go that route, because we do not, in fact, have the correct type of district, which would be this type of agriculture district, with anglers and pearl divers. We would just have farmers, and that is actually not something that we're interested in at this moment. Cool. So that'll be fine. This unification station requires housing, so we'll go ahead and put in a habitation district. That'll be okay. Other than that, not a whole lot going on, but I do want to grab as many L-gates as possible. So we know there's one here in Zilbox Maw. We know that there's one in Light's End. We would like to grab the one in Urkanen's Maw as well. Those are like fairly high priority for us right now, just strategically speaking. So that'll be fine. This tech world requires a job, and we could easily go for an advanced research complex, and I guess that'll be okay. So we're going to build our starbase here, and then we're going to send these guys immediately over to Light's End, and we'll survey that. Excellent. So with that underway, now we need to get as much influence as we can, because influence is kind of our big premium right now. To that end, we could, in theory, get rid of our commercial pacts. That said, that would almost certainly put us negative in energy credits. So, I don't think that that would be necessarily a great idea. So for the time being, we'll hold off on that one. This refinery station does require a habitat central control. We'll put that in. No problem whatsoever there. Excellent. What did we just lose? An admiral. Okay. We'll replace the admiral when we're going to fight, most likely. So we are going to have the Zilbox Maw starbase done soon. We also need to get our mining and research stations built in Churgamore, and then we're going to come on over to Dim and check in on the status over here. Okay, that's still a ways away. Sounds good. So we've now charted Light's End, and now we're going to come over to Zilbox Maw. Perfect. Are there any others over here? I would not necessarily mind. Well, that's an orbital habitat. That's not that big of a priority. Okay. I was going to say, if that's an ocean world, but it is not.
We grow ever stronger.
So that's definitely something to consider. This refinery station here requires a job, and we do need additional rare crystals. So we will go ahead and put in a synthetic crystal plant. Cool. And is there any more to do over here? That becomes the question. The answer is no, not at this immediate moment. Okay. So we're going to grab our dark matter over here in Zilbox Maw. Excellent.
Space charts updated.
Okay, so Scott's Maw has been surveyed. And at this point, we might as well put this guy on automatic surveying and just have him go around and survey stuff. That'll be fine for the moment. And we're going to sell off our minerals. There we go. Excellent. Checking in on our status over here. This refinery station requires a job. Really, the only thing to do here would be to put in a Cyto Revitalization Center. Our Science Nexus is complete. Today, we celebrate the grand opening of the Science Nexus. With its state-of-the-art research facilities and innovative technology, we will have no trouble attracting the greatest minds from across the Empire, or even the universe, should we so desire. This feat truly marks the beginning of a new era of enlightenment. It's a big day in the history of our kind, indeed. This agro-world requires jobs, and we would obviously go for the food processing centers. Food from farmers and anglers +2, and angler jobs +2. Okay, that'll be a pretty solid upgrade. It will not help our consumer goods, but it will help our food. Quite a bit, in fact. So that's very, very good. With that underway, we're just looking for additional constructions at this point. This Forge world requires a system capital complex. We can also put in an industrial district, and the system capital complex will open our final building slot. So that should, in theory, be okay. We might run into a housing issue there later on. In fact, we almost certainly will run into a housing issue there later on, unless we go for, like, exotic good creation. That might be a possibility. This agro world here, we could put in an agriculture district. I'm actually going to put in civilian industries here. There we go. Cool. And we're just looking for additional pop growth, but there hasn't been any just yet. This construction ship has finished up in Zilbox Maw. For now, we don't really have anywhere for it to go. I do want to send these guys here. Let's see, I'm thinking about the fastest way to get them there. You know, I think we're probably better off sending a different force there. Like, for example, the Bronzite. Should be fine. Where did our other fleets go? Are they just chilling back here? Yeah, they are. In fact, we should send one of these. We'll send the Bloodstone. And where are we going? Well, we are going to Urkanan's Maw. We want to get that under our control. Beautiful. And then this construction ship here is going to follow us into Urkanan's Maw in just a moment. They are currently set to evasive. We'll set them over to passive. And as soon as our fleet appears here, we'll head on in. Any moment now, fleet.
We grow ever stronger.
Did they have to come from the center of the system? Maybe they did. Yeah, they did. Okay, sure, that's fine.
Hostile station engaged.
So we have arrived in Urkanan's Maw, and in we go. Beautiful. And now we are ready to build our starbase here. So Urkanan's Maw is now under our control as well. Perfect. Now we're not going to be able to... Well, actually, look at this starbase cap. Okay, I didn't realize our starbase cap was that far off. Like, we actually can defend all of these. That's a little nutty. So, to that end, we're going to want to start spending our alloys. There's no doubt about that one. And we're going to need to... I mean, Lemsa is going to be another good place to defend. So we're going to build a starport here. We're going to make sure our Enigma's end starport is good to go. we do need a bunch more defense platforms, and we're going to be out of exotic gases pretty quickly building these. So for the moment, I'm not going to do that. I am very interested in upgrading the Zolbox Maw station, though, and we're not spending very many alloys on these right now. So that's a thing. Now, Protima's black hole, there's a matter decompressor here, and this is something that is worth defending, so we can upgrade that. There's also the ruined etherophasic engine frame. We can't do anything with that, and we'll just leave that be for the time being. I would like to build a gateway over this way somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where just yet. Okay, so where's our third construction ship at? It's up in Dim. Okay. Dim is another location that is probably worth defending because of the strategic coordination center there. So we'll go ahead and do that, and eventually we're going to want to get gateways in all of those locations as well. For now, I'm going to send these guys over, or the construction ship over, rather. And, wait, this is the Ruby. Hang on. Ruby, you stay put. Construction ship. You come up here and build the mining and research stations. There we go. Okay, so we're going to cap out on alloys very soon here. And to that end, I would like to spend a few alloys down. Just down to like 50k. We don't want to run out of exotic gases, so we're going to need to buy in some of those. Okay, there we go. And once these stations start to get fully upgraded, then we will start thinking about actually spending some alloys. That'll be nice. This Forge world here requires jobs, and for the moment, civilian fabricators is the way to go. So that'll be great. This Forge world requires jobs. We already have civilian replicomplexes here, and so we're going to put in an industrial district to continue to offset our consumer goods deficit. Excellent. Everything else appears to be fine over there, so that's good. And we already queued up our starbase in Urkanon's Maw. Fantastic. But yeah, we're just going to be looking to grab as much territory out here as we can for the moment. That is our current goal. So we're going to be done with our Urkanon's Maw starbase here in a moment, and we'll build our research stations there. We'll also upgrade this starport. Cool. And then after that, this construction ship is going to head over to Light's End. Cool. So that's our energy weapon damage improving, and energy weapon damage and shield hit points are actually currently the cheapest. We'll go for the shield hit points. We do have 118,000 unity, so we really should work on ascending this world here. There we go. So that only saved us 5 empire size. It's not great, is it? It's really not great. Well, we're definitely designed to be working on those from the beginning of the game instead of from, like, now. There's no doubt about that, so that's okay. The entire galaxy should be in the same technological stagnation situation that we're in, so I'm not actually too concerned about that. Surprisingly, our food is positive now. I'm actually quite surprised by that, but okay. I'll take it. That's fine. I'm completely okay with it. We are going to be maxing out our alloys again soon. Some of these starbases are going to be finishing up also soon, so that's good. We do need to spend that down, and to that end, we can come up here to any bastions and just continue buying defense platforms. The problem there, of course, is our volatile motes, exotic gases, and rare crystals. So that will be a thing that we need to be concerned about. Now, we are lacking 5 influence in building this starbase, and we'll have that here in just a moment, as soon as this month stick happens. There we go. So Light's End will come under our control, and all of these starbases, or not all of them, but many of these starbases have finished up. So that's very, very good. We're going to put in gun, missile, and we're going to go for target uplink computer and upgrade that. Same thing for all of these. Gun, missile, target uplink computer, and upgrade. Gun, missile, target uplink computer, and upgrade. And finally, gun, missile, target uplink computer, and upgrade. So that's not a huge amount of alloy expenditure at this time, but it's some. It's some alloy expenditure. We don't want to cap our alloys if we can at all help it. There's also upgrades that can be done at this bastion. I guess we may as well as at this one. So I guess we may as well do that.
Space charts updated.
Cool. So the Hadar system has been surveyed, and we do expect that to continue for a while. We've got a fair amount of systems that require surveying out here. That's for sure. A weak but insistent signal transmits on repeat in the Posh system. The damp Periplus has pinpointed its source to emanating from within the mouth of a destabilized subspace rift at the system's edge. What could be on the other side? Perhaps we'll find out. Indeed. So we're back to being negative on food. I'm not shocked about that. I was surprised that we were positive. This Forge world requires jobs, and it is going to get a civilian replicomplex. That will help out our consumer goods, although it will not help out our volatile motes, I think? Rare crystals. It won't help out our rare crystals for the moment. Monthly Unity plus 5% is solid. We could go for Starbase Cap. I feel like we're doing okay on Starbase Cap for the moment.
We grow ever stronger.
So I'm going to go for food from jobs here. Excellent. So we are building in Lightsend right now. And then we're going to need to come down to Suskot's Maw. So as soon as we're done here, we're going to grab the dark matter. And then we're going to head to Suskot's Maw.
We grow ever stronger.
Cool. So we'll build that, and then down we head. Of course, we don't have the influence. We'll have to wait on that. That's okay. Anything going on in our colonies? No. Well, that's fine. We have managed to grab most, not all, but most of the galaxy's L-gates. Now, we did just run out of consumer goods, and we are maxed on alloys, so we have some work to do here. This starbase needs to be upgraded. We need to buy in consumer goods, and we will buy in around 2,000 of them. That'll do for now. That also will have canceled our edicts, so we need to re-up the recycling campaign and the farming subsidies, and I'm actually thinking about maybe doing the industrial subsidies. I'm not going to do that for right now. We're just going to call this good. How are we doing on nanites? We have over 400. Let's go ahead and run nanite actuators for the moment. Okay. So we have low stability. That should go away now that we have consumer goods again. There we go. Perfect. So with that going away, let's go through our colonies again. Nothing to be done at this exact moment. Okay. Just checking. An admiral leveled up. Not like that's particularly relevant right now. And we're full on alloys again. Right. I knew I was forgetting something. And we're going to spend those alloys, of course, on... Well, I would like to spend it on reinforcing our fleets. We actually do need a ship, so I guess we'll do that. But we'll also spend it on our Bastion defense platforms. Now, we could put in ion cannons, but I kind of... It doesn't cost exotic goods. It's about as good of a setup as we're going to get. I mean, if we're just looking to spend alloys, this is a good way to do it. We can just get a single ion cannon in each of these bastions. And that will spend down our alloys quite quickly. And since we have, 66 to 78 possible defense platforms, I think it's fine to have 1 to 2 ion cannons here at this point. So that's okay. That'll buy us some time for sure. Now, I am expecting on this next month tick that our energy credits will recover. We'll see if they do or not. I've been a little surprised by those sometimes recently. We'll see what happens there. Okay, it did indeed recover, although not fully, but that's fine. Fine for the moment. Our volatile motes, exotic gases, and rare crystals are a bit problematic at this moment. We definitely need to get ourselves... yes, we got... something happened. What is this? Research station at Lightsend. Got it. Okay, so this is still upgrading to Starport. That's fine. Cool. So we've got all of these bastions underway here. This bastion is... That's odd, right? I see a 1 here. But in the tooltip, it says it's 40,000. This definitely says 129,000. I think the tooltip is not counting the defense platforms, is my guess. I think that's pretty clear. But yeah, if we just fill these up with Twilight's Judge class defense platforms, and in fact, we should probably make sure... Let's see. These are using Strikecraft and Kinetic Artillery. That's probably okay. They're still reasonably generic. Not hugely generic, but reasonably so. So that's fine. They're definitely set up for doing damage to actually both shields and armor and hull. Shield penetration, bonus to armor, and then bonus shield damage and hull damage, although minus armor damage. So yeah, this is okay. I think we're okay with that.
Ships ready for action.
Our stations are definitely getting a lot stronger. There's no doubt about that. The Starbase fleet has been fully upgraded. Cool. And we are going to need additional energy credits. Now, to that end, we can, of course, always back off on our recycling campaign edict. And that's what we're going to do. That's not going to help our consumer goods.
We grow ever
That's for sure. It was never really intended to help that. Now, these are currently set up as bastions. The Lightsend... Oh, they built a sentry array. Okay. The Lightsend station needs a gun, missile, and target uplink computer. And an upgrade. As does the Cannon's Maw station. Gun, missile, and target uplink computer, and upgrade. There we go. Excellent. So we're going to have to think about our positions defensively out over here as well. For now, we're going to build our starbase in Suskat's Maw. We would love to get our hands on all of the L-gates. We don't have all of the L-gates, and we're not going to without declaring war on others. Specifically, the Valdari Peacekeepers have 2 of them over here. I've not really seen too many others. The Unbidden use the L-gates extremely heavily in their attack patterns, of course. Oddly, I don't see any L-gates up in the Galactic North, which strikes me as strange, but I mean, that's RNG for you. There do not appear to be any L-gates north of our territory. Which is weird, but sure. We control, I believe, all of the L-gates except for the 2 that the Valdari control at this point. What did we just run out of? We ran out of volatile motes. Okay, we're going to buy in 100 of those, and we're also going to buy in 100 exotic gases. We do need to re-up our edict for... Hang on, nutritional plentitude is pop food upkeep plus 25%. Okay, we can't really afford that right now. That is fairly cheap, though. That is definitely fairly cheap, but we'll go for the farming subsidies. That will be just fine. And how are we doing on our construction over here? This is at 56%. Okay. Sounds good. So most of the L-gates are now under our control. This Forge World requires jobs, and we're going to put in an industrial district. This will somewhat help our consumer goods, but it will not help our food. So yeah, we're still working on rebalancing our economy here, but we are getting much closer on that front. So that's very, very good. Our starbase here will be finishing up momentarily, and it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to continue establishing our positions outside of our original territory. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time. We ran out of food and consumer goods. Okay, that's something we're going to need to take care of. No doubt about that.